What's going on? It's Mitch again. Working on my Camaro again, the 1969 Camaro. That's never really gonna get done, but oh well. What I'm doing today is I got a set of Detroit Speed Minitubs in case I haven't introduced them before. They're basically just inner wheel tubs that are 3 inches wider, or roughly 3 inches wider. The reason I'm installing that is I can go from a 285 tire, which 285 tire on these cars is kind of tight. I can go all the way up to a 335, which is what's on the new Corvettes. It's like a 13-inch wide tire. It's crazy. Yeah, the reason I'm doing that, just more traction. I plan on making a lot of power with this car, and I do want to drag race it, so I need to make more traction. And the rear end I have is set up for that, so yeah. I kind of regretted it. It seemed like a lot of work doing the first one. I did the first one on the driver's side. It's really not that bad. It kind of just takes a lot of time, and it's just a lot of annoying stuff. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to try and walk people through on how to do this in the video, but Detroit Speed's instructions for this kind of suck. They're paper instructions. I basically wouldn't even look at them. I would just toss them out when I get them, or maybe use them as references, but they kind of suck. I would just try and find a video online that's also not Detroit Speed's video. Yeah, so when you're doing these wheel tubs, I think about it kind of logically. All you're going to be doing is pretty simple. All you're going to be doing is cutting a line 2 3/4 inches wider, cut straight down, weld in some block off plates, and then put in your new wheel tub. You're basically just replacing the OEM wheel tub with one that's 3 inches wider. That's literally, there's no like, I mean, it's literally, that's it. So I'll kind of, sorry, it's really hot. It's about 100 degrees here, so I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. So this is, the driver's side wheel tub is done. You can see there's no shock mount anymore. I wish they would have told me that before I bought the kit. And you know, before they act like you bought the $2,000 kit that comes with like a new shock mount and everything like that. They don't tell you that if you don't buy it, you're kind of screwed on a shock mount. You got to make your own. But yeah, that's the kit installed. It looks pretty good. I like the way it looks. Now for $400, if I didn't care about the OEM style look, I would just make my own wheel tub, get a piece of flat metal, and then get a piece of like 18 gauge or 16 gauge and just bend it around in like a circle and put a flange on one side. I mean, that's really not that hard. But that's the wheel tub not installed. That's the OEM wheel tub with my trunk sport brace mounted in it. The sport brace on this side is not mounted, by the way. It's floating there. But that's it. And these are my cut marks. So you see, all it is just 2 3/4 inches wider. And I have like a little flange here to weld to. And I got my cut marks done on the inside too. So right there, you can see my flange I have drawn out. And then I have my cut mark all the way up, just 2 3/4 inches away. And that's basically it. I mean, you have some block off plates and stuff to weld to, but I'm gonna do some videos of me working on the car and try and walk you through as best I can. The instructions are really bad, so yeah. Now, this car doesn't have a tail panel in it. I'm replacing that. I have it right over there. So it is a little easier for me to work on it. I just figured I might as well do the wheel tubs now, but you can do this with your tail panel in. It doesn't matter. You're just gonna be crawling in the trunk. So yeah, I'm gonna get to the video. I'm probably just gonna do a bunch of time lapses of me cutting stuff out. I already got started a little bit, so hopefully it'll be pretty easy, but yeah. All right, what's going on? So it's me again. Basically, still working on the mini tubs for the car. I got one side pretty much entirely cut out now, and now it's down to where I can bend the flange over and start dressing it and welding in my my block off plates for the frame rail. So I'll go ahead and show you that really quick. So this is it's pretty annoying cutting out. I just recommend cutting out in sections. You might see me doing it, and I did cut the time lapse off for a little bit because it got pretty annoying pretty quick, especially when you've done this twice. It's always the worst part of like doing something on a car. You do it on one side and then you got the other side, and it's like, oh my god. But yeah, you see I cut it out entirely. You see how it's like wider, you know. My line isn't exactly straight the whole way down, but it can be close because I'm gonna be putting a plate in there and welding it up on the top. So that's where my block off plate's gonna go. On this side, it's a little different than on the other side. For some reason on this side, this whole thing on the other side gets cut out, and there's a whole block off plate that goes over this entire piece, and it's open all the way through here, and you'll see that in the instructions. It's not like that on this side, but I don't know why. My measurements are right, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to test fit the panel before I weld in the plates, and we'll see. And there's my rocker. You see, got all of that cut out. Got all of that, and yeah, it's pretty simple. This is really not that hard. I mean, I have zero experience working on cars, and this is really not that hard. And just a little tip. You see with this flange, I did not cut all the way back to the corner, okay? If you do, it's gonna leave a gap in this corner because the wheel well is rounded, but this is like, it's gonna go farther back, so it's gonna leave a little gap right there. So what I recommend is cutting like maybe an 1/8 inch forward. That way it like rounds this corner when you go to fold these flanges over. Just my advice, you know. And I got this whole seam dressed. They tell you not to take off this flange. I mean, if it's in good shape, I would recommend not. It's just easier not to. But if it's like, if you grind it and it's real thin, go ahead and take it off because you're just gonna be welding that thin metal, and the plate and the panel is gonna move around. But yeah, I'll do some more time lapses. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, so let me give you all a little update on what's going on. So one, I guess it is kind of important to read the instructions because I would have known that the sides are different. Yeah, on 69s at least. On 67s, it's the same on both sides. Although it's not that big of a deal. But basically, I got my piece right here fitted up. This is gonna be the frame rail block off. See, I got the curve in and everything like that. That one's perfectly fitted up. I had to cut it and all. And let me show you. So on 67s, you would use these pieces on both sides. Now these would go right here like this and run all the way across the top. However, on these, it does not. It is different on the passenger side on 69s. So you'd use this on the driver's side, and on 69s, or 68s and 69s, you use this on the passenger side. Now this fits a lot better. I'm gonna have to cut that little corner off down there where my flange is. And right there I might have to trim up a little bit, right at the beginning of it. But basically this is what I'm supposed to be using. Now these are the pieces that go in place of what you cut, the back seat support brackets. These go in place of what you cut off, how you cut off that straight line. You're gonna flange these. So yeah, probably gonna do a little time lapse of me welding that piece up, and then we'll see. We'll go from there. All right. So I got that plate welded in. I thought I was gonna do a time lapse on my GoPro, but I don't want to destroy my GoPro. So yeah, I got that plate welded in. I'm working on the second plate, the floor closeout plate. So let me show you this. So there's that plate welded in. The welds are kind of ugly, but whatever. It looks fine. Now I got this plate. So this plate, I'm gonna tell you, you'll have overhang on the floor. So I would say trim this down. Just set it up there how you want it, and then take a marker and draw on the back edge and cut it. That's exactly what I did. And yeah, this is it. And those little black Sharpie marks are my spot welds, but this is fitted to my car. So this is not how your plate's gonna look. Yeah, I mean, you can weld it in as is, but it's gonna have a lot of overhang, and I don't really like that. So yeah, all right, I'll be back again. All right, so I'm back again working on this car with the Detroit Speed Minitubs. So here's my Minitub. It's all prepped to go in. I got my spot welds drilled and everything like that. Everything's prepped in the car. It is all ready to go. As you can see, it's all ready to go in. I got my block off plates in. You can't even tell they're in there. Everything's good. The only problem I had was fitting this thing up. It would not come to the bottom of my inner rocker down here. It wouldn't meet it, but I mean, it's metal. I can move it around a little bit. It's just these holes, like the alignment holes they have from the factory. This is not a spot weld hole. This is the alignment hole. They have one here. They have one down at the bottom over here, and they have one over here. Those are supposed to line up, but they don't if I move it down to cover my rocker. I'm not sure if that's like a Detroit Speed. Like, I don't know if it's their fault or, well, it's gotta be because that flange in there is from the original, but whatever. I'm not really worried about it. Nobody's gonna see it. Nobody really cares. It was like a factory thing. It's like, yeah, whatever, who cares? But yeah, I got everything prepped and this is how it's gonna turn out. One piece of advice is try and get these things in there and paint it as quick as possible because they will surface rust super quick. But that's the final product. I'm just doing that over here. And then I got to worry about the trunk support brackets. But yeah, I'm going to do probably time lapse of me welding it in. All right, so I'm finally done with the Minitubs, the Detroit Speed Minitubs. Overall, it was a lot of work, but I feel like it's definitely worth it. The kit wasn't bad, and I was kidding about throwing away the instructions. You definitely need them. I did deviate from how they tell you to do it a little bit. So there's supposed to be a close-off, block-off plate right in here that closes this whole section off, spot welds to the wheel tub, the bracket, and then the package tray. I opted not to do that. I think it looks really ugly and I feel like it doesn't make a huge difference in the car. Yeah, but basically my tub is done. They weren't bad to do, they just took a lot of time. Definitely you're gonna have to like watch a lot of reference videos and stuff on how to do it. Is like very annoying to do. Not annoying, it's not bad, it's worth it. If you're considering doing it, you want to put a bigger tire on your car or lower it a lot, I would definitely do it. Yeah, so basically, well, all you have to do, I know I didn't explain this, I skipped a lot because I'm in college and I'm leaving in like a day, so I really had to get a lot done. I'm trying to get this tail panel done, but for these, all you have to do is cut off like an inch. I just set them up there and I marked where the bottom of this was and where the top was, and I cut them. And then they spot weld in. Yeah, this kit's really, I mean, it's really not bad to put in, man. If you just want to save the money, I'd honestly just make your own wheel tubs. Just get like a flat piece of metal that's like comes up like a moon. Well, put that in. You can make your own brackets and everything. It's gonna take a lot more time, but you'll save yourself $400. It's probably worth just buying the kit though. But yeah, man, I'm done with it. I'm probably gonna put this video out tonight. If anybody has any questions, you can feel free to get me on Instagram or on here or on Snapchat or something. I'll be glad to help you out. It's really not a bad kit to do. It just takes a lot of time and like, yeah, but tomorrow I'll be working on my tail panel. I got to get that done tomorrow. It's already fitted up and spot welds are drilled and everything. I just have to grind it down and prep it for welding and then put it in and weld it up, man. But yeah, that'll all be tomorrow. All right, man.